Hey everybody, welcome to this video. We are diving into December album 2023. Let's go. Okay, welcome back. If you have been following along, we just finished a December, what did I call it? Done in December series, working on my 2022 December album. And so that is all linked below if you'd like to have some ideas for some pages. But this week we're jumping into 2023 and I'm super excited because so far I have got quite a few stories already in my album. So just by way of review, I'm using ScrapbookCom's 6x8 black velvet album because it's just the kind of album for an occasion. And December is definitely an occasion. I shared the process for my intro page, my saying hello to December. And I realized I haven't added a year to this yet. So I still thinking I need to do that. Maybe I could even add it here underneath on this page. So if you're interested in how to make this shaker page, this was super fun to make. That's linked as well. So take some time to check that out. I think this could find its way on other pages besides just an intro page to a December album. So then I purposely layered this pattern paper. It's from 49 and Market Christmas Spectacular. Behind my opening page. I really like this door here, and I like the whole idea of opening the door to a new season of December. And so then on this page, I added this vellum pocket and then a little bit of rub onto the front. And then you pull out this folded tag to which I have typed and trimmed out the title, My Why. So I just took some time on this little foldable tag to write what my why is for this year's December album. I haven't always done that. I like the idea of it. This year had some things I did. It's mainly, if it's not necessarily, well, this is my why for doing this, maybe it's just for you thoughts that you want to make sure you have written down, you give it a place like an album like this for the season, and you have that for all time, right? So it's this album is just great for all that. And so another thing I'm going to remind everyone about, as well as myself, because all advice is autobiographical here. And I talked about this quite a bit in the Done by December series, and that is journaling. Let's just make sure we're writing the things down. If you don't love your handwriting, that's fine. Almost everything in here I have typed up and printed on my computer. And so I will just continue to do that because I love that. I love having all the reminders by way of words because you will forget. So story one is almost and always the family photo of the year. And so I went back and forth on this. Let me tell you, just give you a little bit of insight here. I went back and forth on this because my Colorado family, which my daughter is married and has a baby, they're all here, obviously, hence the Colorado family part, right? But my Arizona family was not here and hasn't been here for a year. We haven't been all together in over a year. I know, I'm working on that. Don't judge me. I'm working on that. But so I decided, they sent me a very lovely photo and I was like, okay, well, I'll just kind of put a place marker here. And then when everyone's here at Christmas, we'll take one big family picture. But then I'm like, no, I want to do it this way. So I went ahead and put our family photo on here from earlier this fall. And then I printed out my son and his wife's picture, and then I punched it with a 2-inch circle punch and just tucked it in there. I literally, this is attached a little bit, but there's like a little lip here. So it just literally just tucked right in here. It's the best time of the year is part of, those strips that are on the 12 by 12 paper. So on this side, you have the manufacturer strip. Well, 49 Market's super awesome about making the strip on the other side usable somehow. And that's what this was. It's the best time of the year was one of those little strips. So I trimmed it out. I distressed it a little bit. I added adhesive just at the very bottom so that it did have sort of a little tuck in kind of a feel. And then just a little bit of an embellishment cluster here. The collection comes with a ticket assortment, and so I'll be going back and forth with my numbers this year. You saw in the 2022 that I stayed with one numbering system because I was wanting to get it done. It wasn't about thinking how I'm going to be creative with numbers. It was about getting her done. So then I have this page that is my journaling, and I took some basil paper. I took a stencil from Tim Holtz. I took the sparkle texture paste, and then I just did a bit of a texture back here. You can see that to a degree, but it's actually pretty. It's actually kind of sparkly and really pretty. It has this great texture, and I just love the contrast that's going on here. And then this was actually part of a cutaway from the laser cuts, the foliage laser cuts. And then I printed, and I didn't even put it on here straight. I'm just gonna, you know what? Here, I can guarantee I'm going to point out all my errors. Just hold on for that. But I printed my journaling on vellum sticker paper and attached it to here. And I never get that straight. But I don't care. Okay, this next story number 2, I will be processing that after I'm walking through everything. So you're going to see how I put this together. That's the second half of the video. So the story of our tree, and I talk about putting all this together. This was a happy accident. Love when that happens. Talk about cutting up your page protectors and just getting a little bit extra mileage out of them. And then the use of, I talk about how this is very page protector heavy because it's a bigger story. Not all my stories are going to be this big. And then because I used this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pocket page protector, I went ahead and filled the other side in, which was story number 3, which was the decorating of our tree, which was a very fun afternoon for us all. And then I cluster embellished a circle die cut that I cut it out of some of the pattern paper, and then I added my journaling back behind there. So that is story number 3. Story number 4, I do not have this finished yet, but this is going to be an example of a real simplified story because, as I shared in Done by December, these 4x6 pages are life. I love these pockets. I love what you can do with them. So I have a favorite mug. I mean, literally have owned this mug for decades. I think this goes back to way early in our marriage, and that was a long time ago. And I got this at a work party, and when I took it out this year, it was like, oh, wow, I love this mug so much. So what does she do? She takes a picture, and I'm going to talk about that back here. So that is what is in here so far, almost up to day 4. Let's go now and let's process out this story number 2. Okay, so we are going to today process through, you already saw it completed, and now we're going to process through day 2. Day 2 is going to be a bit of a bigger story because it's one of my favorite stories and I like it, and we can put in our books what we want, right? I might not be doing, I don't know, I think I might have 8 photos for this particular story, and I am here for it. I totally love it. I could have done more, actually. I'm using a lot for this story too, and this I think kind of holds true most of the time. If I have multiple photos, unless I have collaged them on a single page, well, then I'm going to be, if I'm not doing that, then I'm going to be using page protectors a little bit heavier versus working outside of the pocket. So I'm trimming down this 3x4 because I know I just want to have a kind of a little inner holder of stories, if you will. So that's what that is about. And then I'm going to I've marked on here with my mint tape which photos are going in here. So that was one of the things I did. Maybe this is a little tip for you. As I knew what this story was going to look like, so my tree is going to come over here, and I knew I wanted that to be a bit of a larger size. Then I knew I was going to have some photos happening over here, but I didn't need to use all of the page protector, so that's why I went ahead and trimmed this one down. So then this one here then flips, and then I have these stories, actually one more story back here, and then I believe I have a home for journaling. Sometimes what I need to do when I'm backing photos up, I need to put them in at the same time. They work a lot better that way, going in and not showing any of the white back from the other photo, if that makes sense. So that's in there. Then I have this fun, I don't know, this is basically, I believe it's 4x4. Yeah, this is 4x4. And I'm cleaning up my little notes as I go here. And then these here on this edge are 2x2, just a fun, different kind of size. I went, you know, I didn't think that was wide enough when I trimmed it. I wonder if I didn't have it on my margin correctly. So I'm going to have to come back and, it was just a really pretty tree in the middle of everything there in this forest on this beautiful day. So I need to go back and fix that. All right, we'll do that at another point in time. All right, I'm going to put a title on this story. I'm just going to go ahead and lay in the photo on this backer paper. And I really actually wanted this to be the same height as my page, and I mismeasured it. So I could have gone back and reprinted it. I really didn't want to. I really didn't want to go back and do that again. So call me lazy, call me frugal. I don't know what you want to call me. But what I'm going to do here, and I had an issue with my glue, so I have glue all over my fingers now, so forgive me for that. But I'm going to come in here now, and I use the Modern Alpha die set, and I cut out the letters for Oh What Fun. I was really hoping to be able to lay this down on here and it not move. I was really hoping the rub-ons from the Christmas Spectacular would have had like an Oh Christmas tree or something like that. It has an Our Christmas tree, and I think I'm going to save that for when we're the story that's actually trimming the tree. So I decided, well, let's make our own. And then I was kind of going back and forth because there's also some rub-ons that one says tradition and there's another word that says favorite. And I want to implement favorite tradition on here somehow. This tradition is starting to grow in our family, and I love that. And next year we have some even better ideas for kind of going about this day, since we do go and hunt for our tree in the forest, which we didn't used to always do. We've just done this recently, and it's a complete hoot. I could not love it more. And I thought when we went this time, well, it was cold. It was definitely in the 30s and there was wind, but for some reason it just didn't feel that cold once we were there, and I was so thankful. I don't know, it was just a fantastic day. I love to go hiking anyway, but then to just be able to be in the forest and just literally tromp through the woodland and through all that snow, I adore it. It makes these spirits bright. All right, so I'm going to finish this up. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and come in here and cut out the tradition word and just basically kind of see where I can fit it. All right. So I was thinking, so I kind of have this flat-ish space here. I'm going to get my craft tweezers because I want to actually be able to see it. I can't, my big old fingers aren't letting me see. So I think I'm going to put the tradition there, making sure I have it lined up straight. For the most part, I think I do. So, and then I'm going to put favorite, I'm going to stack it. So kind of think in terms of if you're a stamper and you're stacking words, we're just doing that with rub-ons. We're doing it with the rub-ons and the die cuts, right? Because we're stacking this tradition onto the Oh What Fun. All right, that came out really easy. Yay. Okay, so I'm going to go in here and get favorite. I like to I've talked about this before, I like to keep the backer paper all in one piece. I feel like it holds the rest of the rub-ons in place while you haven't quite used them all. I know, I have the 25 there still loose too. So favorite tradition, and let's see. Yeah, I like that. It looks to me to be straight. So we can get favorite tradition in place. So sometimes we have the things we would really like to have on our pages and we just don't have that. And I'm trying to make the things that I have work. I could have printed some sort of tree reference on my page here. I didn't want to. Are you feeling a theme here? I didn't want to do that. I wanted to make what I had right here work. Ooh, my E is a little loose there. Okay, so now what else do I want on here? Do I want anything else? It's going to be, I might actually end up putting some kind of a tape or I'm loving this Christmas Spectacular, but at the same time, it's very vintage, and not everything that I'm doing is vintage, right? So do I use some stars there? I also thought about, there's also in here, remember this. Maybe I'll do that. Do you see that there? And I can kind of, oh, okay, I think that's going to work. So now to trim out my remember this, there's lots of stars right around it. Okay, and then we'll just get on this side. I really do already love the mix of fonts happening here. That always makes me happy to have that. So what's fun about this is how you have a way, well, let's see, actually, I'm trying to think, do I want, wow, all kinds of options here. Not to mention the fact, okay, I think I'm going to do this. I don't know if you can see, but that T is kind of in between some letters. That R is dipping down a little bit. And so it has this real kind of cohesive kind of feel. I don't know, these kinds of things just make me happy. So humor me here, friends, as we finish this very simple part of our story here with just a sort of large photo making a nice impact, totally bringing me right back to that day and the beauty of the day, which is what it's all about. However that works for each one of us, that's what we're called to do, right? We're called to make these pages speak to us. I'm just throwing some ideas out there, sharing this journey with you guys. Okay, that's kind of fun. I like how that worked out. Okay, I'm going to, I guess I'll go ahead and slip it inside for now. In the walkthrough of these first couple days, you saw I already had the other page done yet. It's not there presently, but it will be. Okay, got a couple things going on here. One of which is my number, the day. I mean, it could actually have fit there. Look at that. Would you look at that? Okay, what color would you do that in? Red? Yes, you would do it in red, because I got this red hat over here. We got this red embellishment. Okay, I'm going to go cut that in red. Okay, so I use the bold number dies. These stand about 2.5 inches tall, and they were really cool because they basically cut out two. You have this little outline, which I might pop over here on my other page, and then I got this guy right here, which fits perfectly in there. So okay, a couple more things I want to add in here. I have my journaling. Actually, before I do my journaling, I'm going to grab this tape for just a little touch of color here at the bottom of this page. I allowed a little extra room because I kind of thought I kind of had an idea I was going to do this. Then I almost forgot. I almost put it in my pocket and I almost forgot to add it. So just a nice little touch of color and slip it into its pocket. Okay, so there's that. And so, because this flips up, I was wanting to put a little flip on here. And so, with that in mind, I went ahead and typed a little tiny tree hunt and the date. Super tiny. I think it's like font size 10. I'm not really sure why I did that small, but it's cute. It works for me. And then what I'm going to need to do is find a other little tab to kind of match that on the other side. So these tabs are from the ephemera bits from this collection. Oh, fun. I like how that worked out. And I personally could have a whole package of these. I would love to have just a huge assortment of these to choose from. I think I'd use them quite often. So we're gonna probably just use them all up. Maybe here, there might be a couple of them. I don't have my ephemera organized yet. I know, what am I even doing, right? So I've got to work on that still. So I'm gonna match this up. Then I'm going to add this little Mary, and that way the outside of this page is has a little bit of embellishment on it. I just think it kind of works in with everything else. And then I think the last thing we're gonna do, I know, I gotta fix my photo. Don't let me forget that, because I might. I have trimmed a piece of the 12 by 12 paper to a 4 by 4, and I'm gonna put it on the outside because I have grabbed some things here. I'm just gonna make and what do I want to call it? An embellished cluster. I just like to have these little spaces here and there, and I thought this little ticket makes me think of the permit that we have to get to get our tree, so I have that there. Needed to grab my double-sided adhesive. I'm going to start with this ticket on the bottom, kind of pop it right there. This text here on this part of the page is a lot of fun. I don't want to completely cover it up. I think I'll do the tree next. Just yeah, that's kind of good. That's kind of good. Then it's kind of a matter of where are we going to put the, yeah, I think that actually does go there. My little postage stamp, because we got to have the postage stamps. Then I'm going to grab that glue again and add some glue to this outside, to this outline of my 2, and put that right there. 2, having these on the outside just kind of adds a little bit more interaction to this. Okay, so this is story 2, the hunt for the tree. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 photos, and that's a wrap. So thank you for watching. I hope you gained something from this video. Let me know if you have any questions or if you'd like to see something else, and I'll see you in the next video.